Welcome back. Apple kicks off its hardware event today at 1 p.m. Eastern, where the company is expected to debut its iPhone 17 lineup. Amit Daryanani is Evercore ISI's analyst, covers IT hardware, joins us to talk about what we can expect as they buy in the stock target of 250. You say, Amit, this is the most notable design change to the iPhone that Apple has done in recent years. Why is that, and what do you expect?
Yeah, so the big change they're going to have this year is going to be the iPhone 17 Air. It's almost a kickback to the days when they launched MacBook Air, if you remember that one. It's going to be a much thinner, slimmer phone. That is really the big change, right? I think the other products in the lineup, iPhone 17 Pro Max, unless you're a big selfie taker, you won't find a big change in it. But the 17 Air is the one that physically will look a much different product than the ones that we've had in the market so far.
And how much pressure are they going to be under, in terms of Apple Intelligence and incorporating AI and what has, at least thus far, been sort of, I think critics would say, a lackluster effort when it comes to that part of the market?
Yeah, listen, Apple Intelligence hasn't really lived up to expectations. At the same time, I tell you, I'm not sure there's a large number of consumer AI products that are really out there right now. End of the day, when it comes to iPhones or Apple products, in every survey we have run, the top two reasons why people want to buy a new iPhone is their battery life is really bad or they need a better screen. That's typically the two reasons. AI and Apple Intelligence tend to be the fourth or fifth reason why they want to buy it. So, it needs to improve, and as it does, I think you'll get a better upgrade cycle, but that has certainly been one of the more disappointments, I would say, over the last 12 months is lack of emerging applications with AI.
I mean, it sounds like investors or clients at least have more questions about the Google antitrust decision, the prospect for upside in licensing when it comes to default search. Can you talk about when that would hit the numbers, so to speak?
Yeah, listen, if I step back and think about the ruling on the DOJ versus Google case, it was a near best case scenario for Apple. You're right, and the fact that they actually changed the terms to say you got to negotiate this every year, I think will help Apple over time versus not. So that ruling was actually a big relief for Apple. You saw the stocks go up. The question eventually for them becomes, can they start splitting up search, right? So you may have Google search, for example, on Safari, but can they also split that up and then have something else for AI intelligence or visual intelligence and something for voice? That's going to be the big driver. I think the time frame on the $20 billion number right now is, step one will be, is the DOJ or Google going to appeal this case and what happens down that process? Once you're done with that, September is kind of the month where they typically renew or review these deals, which means next September 26th, is when you could start to see incremental monetization if there is any from this.
Yeah, you're looking for iPhone sales growth of about 6% year over year. And again, anything you're going to be watching from the presentation that's going to sort of give you either pause or confidence in that year-over-year sales growth number?
The easy answer on this will be pricing. The 6% growth that we have right now is kind of split pretty evenly. 3% is units, 3% is pricing. How that mix plays out would be key. So pricing, I'll tell you, would be one thing. The other part is iPhone 17 Air, right? Are we trading a thinner phone for less battery life? I think that's one thing you got to figure out. If that's not the case, then that could drive a pretty good adoption cycle for iPhone 17 Air. So I'd say battery life on the Air and broadly across the product portfolio, and pricing would be the two things to watch for.
Amit, appreciate it. Thank you.